Hey, thanks for checking out the video. Today we get to take a look at this portable power station from VEVOR. They contacted me and said that they thought my viewers would enjoy this sort of product, and I definitely agree. I've been looking at portable power stations. Some people call them solar generators, some people call them just power banks. I've been looking at this sort of product for years now, and I think it's very useful for a variety of reasons. Whether you just want backup power at home in the event of a power outage, if you live in an area with a lot of storms or hurricanes, something like this can come in handy. Or you just want to move your camping up from like the roughing it into the camping range, into the glamping range. This sort of thing definitely moves you up into the more glamping area. You can charge your laptop, tablet, phones, drones, lights, fans, you name it, get creative. And yeah, it's got a built-in inverter that can also power a CPAP machine, 40-watt CPAP machine for about 6.6 hours. So a lot of application for this sort of thing. And if you're into overlanding as well, this is relatively light. It's in the 7-8 pound range, very lightweight, and it's also a good size too. It's not too bulky. So yeah, I said yes, I would love the opportunity to check this out. So we're gonna be going over this today, its features, its capabilities. I'll give you my thoughts on it as well. So if that sounds good, stick around. I wanted to show what's included with the power station itself. So in addition to the unit, you also are given a wall charging cord as well. So yeah, the barrel connector on one side, a plug on the other, and then power brick. So this is included to be able to charge the unit right here. I'm going to plug this in right now. Gives you a nice, pretty accurate estimation of the time remaining to charge. And then also the number of watts that are being put into the unit. It'll start calculating that and tell us that here on the side in a moment. But as you can see, the charging icon's going up, giving us our state of charge overall. And then yeah, not only do you get a reading of the amount of watts you're putting into the unit, but the most helpful thing from my perspective, because I'm not like super specky into these things yet, is also gives me a time estimation of how long it will take to fully charge this unit at the rate of charge. So at the current rate of charge, looks like we're putting in around 50 watts. It's going to take about a half an hour to get this thing fully charged up. So that's pretty cool to see. Another really interesting thing about this unit is that you can charge it with two different cords at the same time. So if you want to speed up the rate of charge and increase your input wattage, you can actually grab your USB-C cable and pop it in. This port is an in and out USB-C port, which is really cool. So as you can see, you plug this in, we'll see this number begin to jump up and the estimated time to charge drop because we're feeding this device more power now. So yeah, as it calculates that, I'll talk a little bit more about what's included with it. You get a manual, which I will flip through at the very end of the video. It looks like a big manual, but it's really just the same information in a bunch of different languages, so it's not too bad. Very easy to figure this thing out. It's very intuitive, which I really appreciate. I really love the display, as I mentioned earlier. So yeah, you get the manual, you get the charging cable that we've got plugged in here. You also get a 12-volt DC charging cable for your vehicle. So if you want to have this thing in the car, you're into overlanding, or just want to have this in the car on a trip, powering a small 12-volt fridge or something like that, this cable is really useful to keep this unit charged as you go. This unit does have pass-through charging, which means you can charge it and have it being used to power other devices simultaneously, which is a really important feature. So if you're in the market for a portable power station, I highly recommend you look for one that does have pass-through charging, because if it doesn't, it really does put limitations on you if you can't use it as it's being charged at the same time. And then yeah, as you can see, there's different sections here. This is the input only port for charging with this cable or the included wall charger. This section is your USB section, so you've got two USB-C ports, one that's in use now, two USB-A connections as well. To turn on and off each section, these zones have their designated switches, so if we turn on AC, you'll see that indicator just popped up on the screen, so you can know which of these are currently active and in use, ready to be powered. Also some DC barrel connections over here, so if you've got certain fans or other appliances, you can plug them directly in here. And using DC power gets you more efficiency rather than converting it over to AC. So if you can use these ports, that's a benefit for sure. So yeah, next thing I wanted to show was just we'll put a little bit of load on this device. I'm going to ramp it up a little bit and plug the lamp that I use as lighting into this as well. Bear with me. there we go. So now what we can see is that the display is cycling between output wattage, which looks like we're pulling 10 watts. We're drawing 10 watts of power out of the unit. And then it will also switch periodically to input as well. So it gives you an idea of, your state of charge as you're charging, how many watts are going in and how many are coming out, an estimation of the total time you have. So under this load, which is currently just this lamp, this flashlight and this charger, looks like we can afford to power these for 86 hours. Another thing I'll mention about this power station is it does have a kind of an area light built in on the side over here. So by clicking this switch, we get some nice dispersed light. It's not like a spotlight whatsoever. It's more of an even light, which I much prefer. This sort of thing, I don't think having like a beam on it is very useful. Although you could carry this and use it as a flashlight of sorts. It's just a bit big and heavy for that. Yeah, you can jump up and output a couple different times, and it will obviously put a little bit more load on the device, but it still calculates, how long it can run that. Let me unplug our input. So now we are just using this device to power all these things. We're not charging the unit at the same time. So yeah, it looks like we're got 25 watts output, and at 95% charge, it looks like it can power all this stuff for 9 hours. So that's a lamp, charge a flashlight, charge this power, this charger, and this light at this output. So not bad. Obviously you can plug even more things into it with these other ports as well. So you can power quite a lot of things with this device. In addition to this light up here on the side, you got this is an SOS function, and then also just a constant blink for if you're broken down or something like that, you need to get someone's attention. Got those as well, but I like how they have this diffused kind of plate here. That's very helpful, and that's much to be preferred. So if you just need to light up a room or something like that, it's pretty useful to have that type of light. There's a lot to like here with this unit. I think the handle's great. I don't like the units that have that like igloo cooler kind of molded, protruding handle that you can't fold down. It makes it a little harder to pack, so I really like how this is nice and flat on the top. The whole thing is very packable. So if you are planning on throwing this in a vehicle for road trip or overlanding, something like that, just nice shape, pretty compact to pack, lightweight as well, as we've been over. I think they got the light right here on the side. I like the 3 main modes, and then the blinks in case you do need to use it in the event of emergency, hopefully never. But I like how it's a diffused light. One of my favorite things about the unit is the display. Here it's appearing to be flickering and flashing, but that's just pulse width modulation, I believe. To the naked eye, it's nice and solid and readable. It's bright enough that you can read it in full sun. You may need to get down to look directly into it, but it's nice and readable. I like how you can see which ports are activated on the screen, on the bottom row there. So if you turn on different sections to power certain things, you know exactly what you're turned on, what you have turned on. Yeah, for its size, the amount of capability this thing offers is pretty great. Now it's not going to power anything major, like major appliances, like anything like your fridge or dryer or anything like that, not even close. But for getting you through a power outage, really stretching out your capabilities as far as charging, keeping phones charged up, laptops, even TVs, lamps, etc. This thing does the job well. And if you need a little on-the-go base to charge up drones and whatnot, this is a good option. Here's a little look at some rubber feet up the bottom to keep this thing from sliding around if you do have it in a vehicle or just on a table or whatever. Look at the back, nothing too major going on here. Overall build quality of this thing seems pretty good. It is all plastic. That is, a pro or a con depending on how you look at it. Some units use aluminum, so they're a bit more durable, but that also comes at the expense of weight and price as well. And for what this is, keeping it small and lightweight, easy to grab this, take it with you on an outing, family outing or something like that, stay at the park, whatever it is. All right, and there's already a lot of good information about the solar charging capability of this unit on YouTube, but I didn't really see anything of it in practice yet, so I thought I'd try my hand at that. This is just a small 50-watt panel from Renogy. It's a monocrystalline rigid panel. I like this company Renogy a lot for solar panels if you're not familiar with them. I've had good experiences so far with a couple panels. Those are MC4 connections, pretty standard connection type for panels. I got this adapter cable. That's not included with the unit, but I kind of cheaped out on it, and I think I paid the price because it didn't actually work for me. Got a replacement coming, so I'll let you know if I'm successful in charging this unit via solar. Another thing that I may need to try differently is using a larger panel or a combination of panels to get to about 120 watts, which is what this thing's rated for. So yeah, I'll probably try to put that in a comment later on after I'm testing that. But all in all, very good things to say about this unit, which goes for $269.99 at the time of recording. But if you register on VEVOR's site, you can get this for $262.99. That's a pretty good deal because this thing has about 296 watt hours of capacity. And in general, you usually pay about $1 per watt hour of capacity. So the price that this goes for puts it under that threshold, which makes it a good value in my opinion. All right, and as promised, we're gonna wrap the video up as I flip through the manual, so feel free to pause and check anything out if you want to. I will also share with you the one and only thing I could think of that can make this unit even better, and that would be if it used lithium iron phosphate cells inside instead of lithium ion cells. And to explain that, basically, each cell has a life cycle or a number of times that it can be fully charged and fully discharged. This unit uses lithium ion cells, and you can get over 3,000 cycles out of this unit. So if you do that once a day, that'll get you over 8 years of use with this product, which is pretty fantastic. Lithium iron phosphate cells just get you even more, if you can believe it. So that would be the one thing I'd say that could make this thing better. But this is phenomenal, and I think it comes in at a great price, well below the average.